2026 is not just going to be a new chapter for you, it is going to be the beginning of a brand new book of your life. Okay, something that you have never experienced or lived up until this point. Something completely different than what you've ever experienced in your life until now. Okay? You're going to be creating in ways that are balanced and sustainable, which may be something that is brand new to you, that you've never fully known how to do. You are figuring out how to do that. And not only are you figuring it out, the universe is literally going to lay the path before you. Okay? The steps are going to be laid out for you to walk with ease and with grace. You are learning how to have a sustainable, long-term, successful life. And that truly begins in January and February, I would say, is when you can really expect this to start unfolding for you, okay? And I know you can sense it. I know that you can feel it in your heart, in your soul, in your bones, that this change is happening. And you're not crazy, you're just tapped in, okay? You're not a robot, and you don't need to produce things endlessly. I want you to ask yourself what rhythm you want to be in next year. How do you want to live your daily life? Take a moment to think about that. What do you want to feel? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to experience? Continue to get clear on that, because when you're clear on what you want, it helps the universe deliver it to you with precision, ease, and efficiency. You are the operant power of your reality, and the universe will rearrange itself for you if you believe. It says, "My life is blessed, and I see that clearly. I feel joy and excitement for all that I do. I attract miracles, blessings, and support effortlessly and with ease." And this card says, "I am magnetic. Those who know me are drawn to my powerful pull. I attract what I desire with ease." And there's a little magnet there. So you're absolutely entering into a very magnetic time in your life. And a big reason for this is because you have been doing so much purging, detoxing, internal work, realigning yourself with the life and the person that you know in your heart and soul is right for you, is good for you. And that has not come super easy, though you may make it look like it's easy. It has not been super easy for you. So astrologically right now, Capricorn is about commitment to your goals and the lifestyle that aligns deep in your soul. So your values are starting to match up with your drive, okay? And this time, Capricorn is not just about, oh, you just ask for it and it's done. No, it is about showing up consistently. It is about showing up and being devoted to your path, devoted to your passion, your soul mission every single day. Okay, but that does not mean pushing, forcing, overworking yourself. No, that is actually the reality and the version of you that you are leaving in the past. And I know that you know this, okay? And you can feel this, that you don't want to keep working in that same way. You don't want to keep operating in that same way of forcing, of rushing, of pushing. Rest, this card says, rest is equally as important as hard work. Give yourself a break, okay? So this is a time of balance. This is a time of, and I knew this yin and yang card was gonna fall out. I laughed when I pulled the cards, the yin and yang card fell out. So there's a lot of themes of balance in your card reading today. And I feel that that is actually probably one of the most important messages for you to get from this, is to understand the importance of balance, of yin and yang, of masculine, of feminine, of rest, of work, of receive and calling in, okay? There is a balance of these two energies at any given point, right? And what you have done is you have really brought them into harmony and into true, deep balance, okay? So we've also got the Justice card here. So it's like Libra energy, very balanced energy. You can see there's, hopefully it's focusing, but there's scales that this figure is holding. The balancing of scales. And it's almost like whatever has been troubling you or challenging you that has been hard to move out of, you are finally moving out of it. Why? Because this was karmic. This was something that, you were meant to deal with in this lifetime. So it's not that whatever challenges or things that you were dealing with, it's not that you were doing anything wrong. It's that they karmically needed to play out and end in this lifetime, and that your soul actually chose for these things to play out so that you could tie up loose ends. It was almost like the first portion of your life was really tumultuous and challenging, even though you were a very loving, lighthearted being. And that was not for nothing. It's not out of punishment. That was because you were divinely due to grow beyond those soul lessons and karmic ties at this point, okay? So that is why things are starting to feel lighter for you now, where you are starting to feel more free, and that your reality is starting to change, is because you have successfully worked through these karmic lessons, and it is divinely due for you to grow, for you to change and evolve past what you have known up until this point. Okay, so we've got, I am free to feel my genuine emotions and express them in a way that honors them and my need to express myself authentically. I am free. Okay, so this is a time to be honest with yourself about how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, and to really let your genuine, authentic feelings guide the way. Be honest with yourself, be real, be open. This is also how you build a very solid relationship with yourself, by not neglecting your feelings or pushing past your limit when you're tired. It's actually by listening to your body. Okay, is your body saying, hey, I'm tired? Hey, I need to breathe. Hey, I need to go lay down. Instead of saying, no, we're gonna go finish this project, or we're gonna go do this, or go see this person. You say, oh, okay, body, I hear you, I'm listening. I will slow down. I will rest. Even though my mind says, let's keep going, we need to keep pushing, doing. This is not a time to let your mind dictate you in ways that are based in egoic fear or pressure, okay? This is a time to tune into your heart space, to drop your awareness from your head down to your heart. It's a more feeling-based experience, a feeling-based way of interacting with reality, of interacting with your life, okay? Letting your true, genuine, authentic feelings help guide the way and help guide your next steps is the key. There is no blueprint, I'm sure as you know, for the next steps of your life. You are unique. You are doing something that has never been done before. So yeah, there's no blueprint. The only blueprint that you have is what is within your heart, is what your intuition is guiding you towards. Those little feelings of, this seems like a good idea to go to this place, or this seems like a good idea to start this project now, or to reopen this file. Trust that. Trust that. And if something feels bad, something feels like, hey, I don't want to do this feels stressful, or it doesn't feel aligned, that is also very valuable information. Okay, so this is a time of tuning into your body, of not seeking external validation, because nobody has done what you are doing. So who else could tell you but you the next steps, right? And that doesn't mean that you're alone. You are guided by the infinite intelligence of the universe and by your higher self, by your heart. And life will help guide you, through your circumstance. But we can't just rely on our external circumstances, on the people around us to validate us or to give us the next steps, because it wasn't a conference call between you and God, between you and the divine, between you and the universe. It was a one-on-one call between you and the universe. So only you are able to answer that call and to know the path forward. And that can be scary, but it's beautiful and you can handle it. Everything that comes into your experience is because you are at a point where you are able to handle this, okay? So you are resilient, you are strong. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself that you're capable and that you actually have so much more untapped power and potential that you don't even know about yet. Like, if you think you're powerful and strong now, just you wait. But wait, there's more. That's kind of the energy. It's like, you are just scratching the surface, okay? So we've got the Chariot, which again, balance. Look at the black and the white horses. A couple meanings here. So the Chariot, balance, yin, yang, masculine, feminine, receive, action, right? You are balancing your energy and you are having success because the Chariot is also a victory card, okay? You've got the Three of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So what you have been doing for the past lifetime, maybe lifetimes before this one, is you've been transmuting your pain, okay? You can see the Three of Swords. Oh wait, can't show that card. You've been transmuting your pain, okay? Sorry, I can't show it. It's a woman who does not have garments on and she is pregnant, but it's all the energy centers around her, okay? And she's holding up the crown chakra in her hand and she's very pregnant, and it's like you've been transmuting your pain into blessings, into gifts, and as you've been transmuting it, it's like a gestation period, it's an incubation period is what you've been in, okay? And your pain has been, though it's been challenging, it has been serving you. Why? Because you're transmuting the pain into blessings, into opportunities, into growth. Okay? I see you. I see you. I'm here to validate you. That is absolutely what is happening, okay? You are learning how to master your emotions because you've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So again, more balance within your emotions. And when you feel balance within your emotions, then you're going to get balance in your physical reality, okay? Because our whole external reality, right? Everything that we see, we created within ourselves. We are the operant powers of our reality, each and every one of us. A lot of us just don't know that because the powers that be, like the government, or, just if you want to see it as like low vibrational energy, whatever. I believe that there are certain energies that benefit from us not knowing our power, not knowing that we have influence over our reality. Now, obviously, we are co-creating with the universe. It is not just 100% within our control, but we have more control and influence than we are taught and than we realize, okay? So this is what you're starting to understand, is that your emotions are directly impacting your external experience, and the way that you feel about yourself in your life impacts your reality. Okay, what you expect you can have directly impacts what you call in and receive. So you are really learning to balance your emotions, and you're new at this. You're figuring it out. You are a beginner at this. It's again, you're entering chapter 1 of a brand new book. Like, yeah, of course, it's going to take a little bit of time to figure this out, but you've come so far already, okay? You have come so far already. So you're not completely brand new, even though you may feel like it, or you may feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. Again, there is no blueprint. There was never meant to be a blueprint for you. This is about you learning to follow your heart. And your heart has already led you here, okay? I know you've been following your heart for a long time. Don't stop, because things are really going to start coming into your reality in 2026. I'm going to tell you right now. 2026 is like the building year, too. You're going to get manifestations, but it's not just about crazy manifestations. It's about learning to feel safe within your nervous system to be able to receive these things that you're calling in and creating, right? If your nervous system is not safe to receive and match this reality that you're creating, right? Because it's a little more elevated than where you're at right now, you have to make your nervous system feel safe. make it feel relaxed and open and like you are safe to receive, that you are worthy of what you desire, that you are able to create long-term sustainable success and growth, right? So you got the Ace of Cups here too. So this is victory. Again, multiple victory cards with the Chariot and the Ace of Cups. So it's like you will be successful and you are going to be successful, especially in 2026. This is going to unfold beautifully for you, okay? Because we've also got the Lovers. More divine masculine and feminine energy. This is about you becoming united within yourself. The feminine and masculine energies within you balancing. There is so many different images and signs and symbols of balance, of yin and yang, of feminine and masculine. And it doesn't matter what gender you identify as, if you're man, woman, they, them, whatever. This is far deeper than human created gender roles, okay? This energy of the masculine and the feminine it has an undercurrent in all of life, in all of existence. It's bigger than just, are you a boy or are you a girl? Okay, get that out of your head, because that is not what this is about, okay? So, you're really balancing yourself, okay? Balance. And this path requires adaptability and it requires devotion. So showing up every single day and allowing yourself to shine, allowing yourself to be seen. And I want to clarify what shine means, okay? When I say, oh, you go let yourself shine, I'm not talking about a performative shining where you go better and look at me, everybody, I'm so cool, look at me, there's nothing wrong with attention. I'm not saying that, but that is not what I'm talking about. Sometimes in order for you to shine, shining means resting when the rest of the world is telling you to push. Shining means allowing other people to be in the spotlight and celebrating them and recognizing that you are shining just as much, or that their shining inspires you to shine in new ways. Or, shining doesn't need to only be seen as something done on a stage or for attention or in front of a crowd. No, shining can be done in very personal, quiet, intimate moments where it's less performative, less egotistical, and more like nurturing and balanced and grounded and regulating to your nervous system, okay? That is the type of shining that we are learning to embody. It is different than the way that society, pushes on us, essentially. It's not about, oh, look at me on my Instagram, which again, I love Instagram to post on it, it's fine, but I'm just talking about shining in a way that is so much more heart-centered versus like performative. That is what you are learning. Change requires awareness. Awareness requires self-reflection and honesty. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So, in order for anything in our external reality to change, we first have to change within ourselves. A lot of people think, oh, once this happens, then I can be this way, or once this thing comes into my life, then I can feel happy. But actually, the paradox is that so many people don't understand because we're not taught, right? When you change your internal reality, the external reality will change. It's not about waiting for your external reality to change first and then you change. No, it's about you changing within yourself, and then the external reality will match that. It will match your frequency, okay? You are energy, you are love, you are frequency. What frequency are you emitting on a day-to-day basis, okay? Become devoted to the frequency of the version of you that you want to embody, to the life that you want to live. And again, this is not about, okay, once I have this much money, this many followers, once I feel, more beautiful, or if I'm skinnier, whatever. Once I'm this way, I'll be happy. That is not what I'm saying. No. That version of you that you want to live in, what do they feel like on a daily basis? They feel relief because they have everything they want. They feel at ease. They feel abundant. They feel peaceful. They feel powerful. They feel intelligent and self-assured, right? Because that version of you has everything they want. Okay? The key, right? We've been talking about your feelings. The key is to put yourself in the feeling state, the emotional state of that version of you that you want to embody. And then you embody that version now in your current reality exactly where you're at. That is how you call even more of that energy in. Okay? And it's about really going into your imagination, really going into your body, your nervous system, doing breath work. There are plenty of guided meditations on this too. If you don't know how to do it yourself, there are guided meditations from nervous system safety and whatnot. Like Wendy Jones is really awesome. I love her somatic meditations. But it's about feeling that reality, that state in your body, and claiming that as real and true. And the more you practice feeling regulated, safe, worthy, abundant, prosperous, loving towards yourself, accepting towards yourself, the more that you integrate and anchor that energy in. I'm almost seeing like a hammer and a nail, So it's like every day that you devote yourself to feeling love, feeling safe, challenging your negative thoughts and returning to love. Okay, it's not about not feeling your feelings. It is absolutely about self-honesty is a key here. Okay, you don't need to, this is not about fake positivity or spiritual bypassing. No, this is about being very honest and real with yourself, and then nurturing and loving yourself through your pain back into love. Okay, and that might take a few hours, that might take a day. Wherever you're at, that's okay. But the key is self-honesty, truth-telling with yourself, okay? And then not just letting yourself stay in that pain though, not just letting yourself stay in that super low, heavy place. Allow that energy to keep moving through you, okay? So when we have a regulated nervous system, it helps us release that energy and come back to baseline. So that is why nervous system work is so important, because when your nervous system is regulated, your body feels safe. You are not in fight or flight. Okay, and it's not about staying perfectly regulated all day. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like we're humans, we have imperfect lives, and challenges actually are here to serve us. We are not meant to be without challenges. They, are catalysts to expansion and to growth. But we don't need to get caught in the trauma and the pain of the lessons we experience, okay? We can feel our feelings, allow our bodies to process, feel, and let go of that external excess energy. And we can keep the wisdom, keep the knowledge, keep the loving perspectives that challenging experience taught us, okay? So this is really about balance and accepting yourself and recognizing that you are whole exactly as you are, with all of those parts of yourself, even the parts that don't feel super good, or even the parts that you do want to change or that you know are not meant to come with you. You are still whole. You are still worthy exactly as you are now. And I think so many people block themselves from their blessings because they think, oh, I have to be this type of person, or I have to feel this type of way, or I have to do these things before I can live my dream reality or live as the embodied version of who I want to be. But it's through living and embodying that version of you now in your present reality that you call in that life for yourself. So I hope this makes sense. I think it is, but if you get it, you get it. But devoting yourself to your frequency, devoting yourself to calling in this new life, and that requires self-honesty, and a big thing, nurturing yourself, talking to yourself in loving, kind, sweet ways. Like, imagine a little sweet, innocent baby, or imagine you as a little 3-year-old, or a 7-year-old, or a 16-year-old. The parts of you that felt pain and sadness, right? What do they need to hear in those moments? Not, oh, I wish you were different or we're somewhere else. Do you feel how much that hurts? That just feels bad, that makes the energy worse, versus, okay, I love you. I'm sorry that you're hurting. I'm sorry that you're in pain. You don't deserve this. You didn't deserve any of this pain. But I'm here with you now, and I won't abandon you, no matter how anybody else in our lives have treated us or told us about ourselves. I am here to tell you now that you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are loved, You are safe with me. You are so special. You are unique. You deserve everything and more, and I will make sure that you get it because I love you that much. That is how you talk to yourself. Okay? See, my hands are on my heart, right? You can put a hand on your heart and on your belly. I do that a lot when I'm stressed or anxious or start to feel like I'm disassociating or my fight or flight is taking me out of my body. I am somebody who has to do nervous system regulation many times a day. And it's about learning to work with yourself throughout the day, and it's not about feeling perfect all day long. It's just about meeting yourself where you're at, being honest, and then nourishing yourself as best as you can. It's really that simple, and it doesn't have to be super complex, okay? It's just about learning to be kind to yourself, learning to be a friend and a mother and a parent figure to yourself, okay? Because we've got so many different parts inside of us. We've got so many different parts, okay? I'm 26, and I feel like there are 26, maybe more, different versions of me existing within myself, within my psyche and my energy at any given moment, at all times. There is the 1-year-old version of me, there's a 5-year-old version of me, there's a 16-year-old version of me, there's the college version of me, there's a present moment version of me, there is the whole adult authentic version of me, the wise inner parent, right? So the point is that we get to understand what that wise inner parent authentic voice within us, the one who is rational, has good reasoning, who is the most mature, divine version of ourselves, right? We get to learn what that voice sounds like, and then we let that voice be the advocate for all the other voices and all the other parts of ourselves, right? So that wise inner parent is going to tend, like you could even see all of your parts sitting together at a table, right? This is a therapy thing. See all of your parts of yourself sitting together at a table and see your wise adult inner parent self there. That's the one in charge, okay? And you just allow any part of yourself to speak up and share how they're feeling, to share and express what they need to, no matter how taboo or how much you think it's good or how you should be feeling. That is not the point. It's not how should you feel, it's how do you feel. And then being a safe person for yourself to express those feelings. The psyche is a jungle, okay? It is not just some like prim, proper, polished thing. Being a human, we are ancient beings, okay? Like, it's not just some polished thing. It's everybody's psyche is different, and there's so much in there, you know, that comes from so many different places, whether like our family, our past, whatever. Your psyche is a jungle, okay? And the jungle is a lot more daunting and scary to traverse when there are no pathways. But the more that you learn to regulate your system, the more that you get to know yourself, accept yourself, be safe, and allow yourself to express authentically and honestly and openly to yourself, that is like you cutting down leaves and plants in the jungle and creating pathways, okay? So every time that you sit with your feelings, it gets easier. Every time that you nourish yourself and offer yourself a loving perspective instead of fear or being mean, you're creating new pathways. You're cutting down a plant each time, okay? So again, this is about devotion and consistency to your life, to your well-being, to nourishing yourself, to taking care of yourself. That is the key. It is not some crazy grandiose experience or manifestation. No, it is actually in the very mundane, everyday experiences of nourishing yourself, of showing up for yourself, and loving yourself when it's messy, when it's not pretty, and when it's not glamorous. That is the key, and that is what so many people are not taught, and that is why I feel called to come on here, and why I feel the universe is called for me to share, because this is something that I am still learning, but it is something that has greatly changed my life, and is the reason why I feel that I have so many manifestations now coming in, is because I have created space and safety within my nervous system to live in that reality that I was creating, right? And to fully embody this being of who I wanted to be and what I know I can create. I embody it. And I create safety in my nervous system, and that is how we experience that life, right? So the work is not taking action ceaselessly. No. The work is getting into alignment, is to getting into that loving feeling again after you're feeling anxious or afraid or stressed or angry, whatever. That is the work. Okay, as well as, you know, for me, like these YouTube videos, okay, the work for me is consistently showing up every week, you know, and finding ways to feel good about showing up every week. And even when I don't feel super good, I'm still showing up because I know that consistency and devotion is just what's required of me right now. And also, working with my system and working with my body, you know, if I need to rest, okay, maybe I'll do a video later in the day, you know, or hey, maybe I'll do it early so that I can have the rest of my day, right? It's about asking yourself what you need, but still being confirmation burp, but still being consistent. Okay, it doesn't have to be super rigid. You're not a robot, right? You're a human, so it's okay to do things a little differently. We all make up so many little rules in our head all the time, right? Like little rules of like, oh, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. So take stock of like the random little rules you're creating for yourself. Confirmation burp again. Okay. You got observe, enlightenment, flow, growth, enough, appreciated, patient, self-love, and walk away, goodbye, alignment, new possibilities. So, you are flowing, you are growing, you are aligning, and whatever you're walking away from, whether it's old versions of you, jobs, relationships, whatever, it's different for all of us, whatever you're walking away from is creating space for everything that you've been calling in, creating, and dreaming up. So just because you can't see the path forward, trust, consistency, devotion, take the steps before it makes sense logically, okay? That is how intuition and heart-based living works. Your mind will never fully be able to comprehend the knowing that your soul and your heart have within you, okay? So that is why you have to drop out of your mind, recognize that not everything is going to logically make sense, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take the steps. If it feels right in your heart, if your intuition and your gut are guiding you somewhere, that is all the validation, all of the pull and affirmation that you need to know that that is the right way to go, okay? You've got new possibilities coming in for you. You are limitless potential. You are tapped into the infinite intelligence of the universe around you, okay? You are limitless. So you need to start feeling what that feels like morning and night. In the morning when you wake up, tap into the energy of feeling limitless, of feeling powerful, of abundant, of this new horizon. And you don't have to know what is coming to feel and sense that new, exciting life coming in for you, okay? Start tapping into that and start getting creative in your imagination, okay? Start really dedicating time to meditating in the morning and just being with yourself and asking yourself what you need that day, okay? They all work together as super helpful, balanced components, right? It's a balance of the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? You are learning how to do that. So, good job. I'm gonna read one last little thing. I'm gonna just open this book randomly. It's the Thich Nhat Hanh book, Shambhala Pocket Classics. Let's just see, what does a collective need to hear most? Perhaps in the past we've noticed ourselves doing something unintentional, something we may have inherited, and we've blamed ourselves. We saw ourselves as an individual, isolated self, full of shortcomings. But with awareness, we can begin to transform and let go of these habit energies. With the practice of mindfulness, we recognize that a habitual action has taken place. This is the first awareness that mindfulness brings. Then, if we're interested, mindfulness and concentration will help us look and find the roots of our action. That action may have been inspired by something that happened yesterday, or it may be 300 years old and have its roots in one of our ancestors. Once we become aware of our actions, we can decide whether or not something is beneficial. If it's not, we can decide not to repeat that action. If we're aware of the habit energies in us and become more intentional in our thoughts, speech and actions, then we can transform not only ourselves, but also our ancestors who planted the seeds. You are transmuting and transforming generational trauma, your ancestry, okay? That is it for me today. So much love, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.